we are on an adventure.
Everything off that front tire is going to come back at Mach 5, especially considering the way you drive.
I don't drive poorly at all. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. It is Sunday, about 10 o'clock. We are on an adventure. A number of you have reached out and asked about the progress of the Cobra. Today, actually, I will be checking on the progress of the Cobra. I'm in the TRX, headed down to San Antonio. We are going to make a stop at XPEL headquarters because that's where they are finishing up the wrap on the 65 Cobra replica this morning. I have been informed by XPEL San Antonio that the Cobra is probably the most difficult vehicle on the planet to wrap in PPF. So what did they do? They didn't give up by any stretch. They didn't call me and say it can't be done. They called in the best. So we have two installers who have been at XPEL headquarters in San Antonio for the last 2 days installing the wrap. We do have confirmation that the stripes have been laid. So this is going to be pretty exciting. I'm very much looking forward to checking it out. And most importantly, thanking the guys for going out of their way for doing what they did with the Cobra. Next stop, XPEL San Antonio. Well, I'm on my way to XPEL and I'm feeling a little mischievous, so I don't know. That was fun. I said it once, I'll say it again. This truck is freaking awesome. Obviously, you know why we're here, you know what's going on. This is Chris Hardy, and he's going to take us through the paces.
So, Chris Hardy, Senior Director of Sales for XPEL. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. Arguably, the world's hardest vehicle to install by far is what you would call a Cobra or Cobra replica. And we know this because I have one myself.
Which is, hold on one second. Right there. So that's the reason why I actually brought the vehicle here, because I knew that they could do it.
I have never seen a Cobra ever done before with a full body stealth. And the reason being, as you can see, is there's just major curvature in and out all the way along. The haunches on the back are extreme. And so what I did in my case was I actually drove my car up to Manheim, Pennsylvania and dropped it off to arguably one of the most famous installers in the US, Wild Bill. Wild Bill is notorious for working on some real serious custom machinery, especially older machinery, retro builds and stuff like that. And so I said, look, here's my Cobra. Do you think you could do a stealth? And he's like, I think we could. There was definitely no agreement that it was going to happen for sure. And Wild Bill and his team, Ben, and etc., spent upwards of about a month on the original install for mine, getting it right. When yours came about, of course, everybody was excited as usual to collaborate with you on an ultra cool build. That said, we made some internal attempts to do the install and they weren't satisfied with the way it was coming out, but not having the experience of already doing one in the past, I can understand the level of frustration. Typically the cars are in and out of here for a full front in half a day, and a full vehicle's in and out of here probably in 3 days. Here it was like, hey, you guys can have the car as long as you want, but the installers are working obviously on the schedule to try and bang out work. When they got frustrated, I said, okay, let's stop. Let me get on the phone with Wild Bill and see if him and Ben, which is his protege, could come in here and do it for us. Like, I called Bill and I said, look, I actually need a personal favor. And he's like, what do you need? And I'm like, this is what I need. How busy are you? As a matter of fact, he was supposed to be at the Street Outlaws race this weekend. He's a huge fan of...
God, you're just continually making me feel like shit.
But that was something that was on the agenda, and he's like, this is the weekend that I could do it instead. And I'm like, Kate, we'll get you out to another Ryan Martin experience later on, no big deal.
Well, if nothing else, Bill, I've saved your eardrums for the weekend.
Hey, if it makes you feel better.
At this point, anything will make me feel better.
Oh, I don't know if I should say that.
Please tell me.
I put another customer on hold with his brand new GT3 RS to do yours.
Somehow I don't think that's making you feel better.
Bill, that didn't make me feel any better.
Yep.
So that basically holds down the wrap? The edge of the wrap?
It helps us hide some seams, and it also, it'll seal those edges and give it a good aesthetic.
Part of it, when I was talking to you, was that, hey, there's going to be scenes. And obviously, one of the reasons we brought in Wild Bill and Ben is because they're so phenomenal at their scenes, better than almost anybody else, if not everybody else ever in the business. There's still going to be seams that are somewhat visible. So I was like, on mine, we use Sebring stripes, which are common anyways in the Cobras, to bury some of those seams.
Yep.
And I mentioned this to you, and you were like, fantastic, let's do Sebring stripes. And I was trying to come up with colors, ideas, and I was like, what about a red? I think it'd be hot on the matte black. And then you said, well, what about gloss black? And I was like, oh, actually, that's a fantastic idea because we make gloss black paint protection film.
I actually came up with an idea that...
You came up with a phenomenal idea.
Wow.
Ultra high impact areas right on the Cobras is obviously right here in front of that rear tire. Everything off that front tire is going to come back at Mach 5. It's going to hit this, especially considering the way you drive. And it's,
Easy.
Hey, let's be realistic. We're car guys.
Well,
We may
you're right.
once in a while put on a track and have a little extra fun.
I don't drive poorly at all.
And it's going to make an impact. So look, film is not impregnable.
Yeah.
And so in order not to damage the film, we put this extra layer on top of it, which will obviously be something we could easily just pull off and replace without having to redo the entire piece of film, which would be a lot more problematic.
Gotcha.
But part of it is something that I feel is worth showing.
Okay, am I really going to want to see this?
We're going to scare the crap out of you for a second, Bill. But I can scratch.
Oh, shit!
And you can see there's some pretty serious scratches. Guys, let me let it down for a second. On the glass black and on the matte black. So you can see the scratch marks that are just been put into this. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, Bill. He did it. I didn't do
scratched
it.
And now they're all gone.
You're a freaking magician.
Red Art Custom Interiors is going to redo your seats, just like mine were redone. In your case, your seat has got a big cushion to the base. We're going to get Red Art Customs to take the seat down, get rid of all the extra cushioning that you don't need, and then go to something more like a diamond stitch with an interior color of your choice.
So basically all you have is a seat frame,
Yep.
and then you have, you know,
Yep,
the
like the-
upholstery just like a layer on top of it.
But instead of using like a typical foam, you'll use something more like a gel foam instead. Last but not least, where is it? We have a box somewhere. Let me get the box. We have a gift from our good friends at Morimoto. This is something that I'm really excited for. Nick at Wheel Pose, which is the company that owns Morimoto, they produce these Holley retro bright LED headlights. And one of the things that you'll typically find in some of the older vehicles or retro vehicles, such as a Cobra, I have a 32 Ford as well, these headlights actually aren't that bright.
Nope, they're horrible.
Horrible. Well, instead, what's going to happen is we're going to pull out the bezel and stick these headlights in, and just like a regular LED, these are going to be insanely brighter. So,
And literally it's plug and play. You
Plug
pull
and
that
play.
bezel off and then
Yep.
plug it back in.
Yep. So the cool part was that Morimoto sent a set for you and me.
Big thanks to those guys.
So this is actually your set sitting in my car for you to take home for when you put the car back together. It's ready to go for you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
A huge shout out to Wild Bill and Ben for coming down from ACAP Films. We couldn't have done this without them, and you know, we're just super appreciative to work with you on all your collaboration with all your products and projects, I should say, and we continue to want to do so in the future. Thank you.
Well, I can't thank you enough, man. As the cameraman today, I'm extremely appreciative to be involved with such a company. And oh, guess what? You make great products at the same time. I can't thank you enough, my friend.
My pleasure, my brother.
It's a lot of fun, and this is like, I don't want to say this is our first project we've done together.
Definitely not.
Extent of the detail going into it, yes, this is the first project we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the last, and I'm
Listen.
excited, and I can't thank you enough.
Us too. Look, you came up with a really cool concept. I've already put an email through to a bunch of our management. Stay tuned, people, because I suspect this is actually going to happen. I've already got some emails back with people saying, let's move forward on this. So I'm feeling very comfortable and confident that we're going to end up collaborating on something really, a really awesome project coming up.
I'm looking
Not only on a
forward to it.
personal build of yours, but something for everybody else that's probably watching this channel right now.
Tune in, stay tuned, and you're next.